What is going down, guys? You're listening to the Fitness Business Life podcast. MJ Lennon here, and today I'm here with my co-host Steve'o Clarke, and we are gonna look into the life and times of Steve'o Clarke today.
It's gonna be great.
You ready to rock, dude?
Ready
You
to
love
rock.
talking about yourself.
Everybody does.
Okay, man. So for the listeners, people watching on YouTube, tell us a wee bit about your upbringing, because even though for the time that I know you, I actually don't know too much about how you fucking got here, dude. So
Right, okay.
give us a wee bit about your upbringing and what were the fondest memories you can conjure up from it.
Fondest memories, we'll start there. So I should probably say, to start off with, we're a really kind of close family, mum, dad, brother and sister, and even not just the immediate family, but like going out towards like grandparents and even cousins and cousins and babies of cousins and stuff. Like, we all know each other like really, really well, and it's not just, you know, like passing in the street kind of thing. We used to go to my granny's house on a Sunday, and it's a small house, like 2 up 2 down kind of thing.
Okay.
And on any Sunday there would have been at least 20 people, you know,
Oh,
piled
shit.
into the living room or into the kitchen and stuff, and everyone's talking and nobody's listening kind of vibe, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Everyone's just getting the, you know, in the conversation, what have you been up to, all these kinds of things. So we were all really pulled together in that one house.
Tight knit.
Yeah. And then you go from that was on my mum's side of the family, and on my dad's side of the family, whenever we were young, we were the only grandparents, so I'm the oldest grandchild.
Okay.
We would have went on holidays and stuff with my granny and granda, so we would have went to County Mayo, down to Ballina,
Okay.
and we would have rented out a house for like a week or 2 or whatever, went down and brought tents and stuff, went out camping. We would have sat in the bars with, you know, my dad and my mum and everything, and, you know, the normal stuff, like, but it's those kind of memories that I would have, you know, sitting in my grandparents' house, talking to all my cousins and having fun. We used to play this game. This is kind of embarrassing, but it's brilliant.
Okay.
All the cousins used to have a seat on the stairs in my granny's house. There's maybe about 10, 15 of us, and one person had to stand at the front door, and it was called Funny Man. It was basically like, you're a comedian, and the first person that you make laugh has to take your place.
Right, okay.
You know what I mean? So you're trying your best to make people laugh and stuff, and yeah, anyway.
Had to be there.
Yeah, you had to be there. Well, we probably weren't that funny. It was probably just people hitting themselves off a wall and stuff. But yeah, those holidays, spending time with grandparents, spending time with family and stuff, those were the, you know, the best times and stuff, because we were all so close. It wasn't just, you know, the immediate family.
Sounds good. Tell me this. So, you know, for anyone listening or watching, Steve was a talented musician, really talented musician as well. And you were saying about probably performing for people sitting on the stairs. Was everyone in your family that way inclined? Like you said, you were tight knit, or because I know your sister's an amazing singer as well.
Yeah.
Were you guys like the only performers in the family?
We're probably, like, we're all comedians, like, we all get together and we all have a laugh and stuff like that. But in terms of like performing and stuff, I'll go right back to the start. So my dad was in a band, and he's been in bands from he was like 16, something like that.
Okay.
And that's actually how him and my mum met each other. So they were auditioning backing singers for the group, and my mum auditioned and her friend auditioned. And actually, they started off, my mum fancied like the guitar player or something out of the band that wasn't my dad, and the other backing singer fancied my dad, and they ended up, actually, my mum married my dad, and then her friend married the guitar player.
Holy
So
shit.
you know what I mean? So it was wired up. It didn't go that way, you know, originally, but that's how they met.
Yeah.
So I think probably, like, I remember like getting ready for school and stuff in the morning, and my dad would be up shaving and singing in the bathroom, and, you know, like when he would go off gigging and stuff, my brother and sister and me would basically put on our own gig for my mum in the front room.
Class.
While my dad was out gigging. We had a lightsaber in a chair and used it as a mic stand and singing and stuff for my mum. Yeah, but there's a couple of cousins and stuff play guitar really well, and they've been in bands here and there. But we're all kind of talented musically, or, you know, we're all funny or whatever. but it's not all of us who have kind of went up on the stage and kind of made a band out of it, or tried to pursue it in that way. But there are talents among those people. Yeah.
Can you remember? Well, I remember your first gig, but can you remember the first time you actually felt like you were performing for people?
Yeah, it actually wasn't in music that I did that though.
Okay.
So I went to University of Ulster and Magee up in Derry, Londonderry, and I did drama. So performing in drama was a whole like I was used to singing. I was already in a band when I went to university. I went to university and started doing drama, and I was performing, and it was a play that basically someone had dropped out.
Okay.
I got a phone call saying this person has dropped out and I really, really need your help. It's a 90 odd page script and I need you to know it by the end of the week. And I was like, as well as all the fucking acting and the cues and stuff that go along with it.
Holy shit.
And I did it, like I learned all the words, I learned all the movements and stuff. And then the first night came up and it was schools who had been in for a matinee, and one of the other actors had said, can we just give this guy some credit because he came in here a week ago not knowing anything, not knowing any of the words, any of the movements, and he pulled it off. And people didn't expect that. They were like, we couldn't have told that you weren't there as long as the rest of them. So I think at that point, performance wise, that's when I knew that I was capable of doing it and doing it to a high standard. Did
you have ambitions of being an actor? Like, is that what initially you wanted to do?
Initially, I wanted to be a teacher.
Okay.
I wanted to teach, probably drama. And that's probably going back to, like, my favourite teacher was my drama teacher. So it was probably a bit of a, like he had a lot of influence on that. But yeah, when I got into university and stuff, I was like, yeah, I could see myself doing this and, trying to make a career out of it, because I was doing it after university. I went on tours and stuff in England and did some shows after that.
I remember that actually. I remember that.
So it just didn't work out though.
Yeah. So did you, like, what got you then into fitness? What made the transition happen? Because I know you still love to sing, and you'll still play at gigs and stuff as well. But now your full-time job is in the fitness industry. So how did that come about?
It came about from, first of all, joining the gym. So contacting yourself and saying, right, I need to do something and sort my health out, my weight out and stuff like that. And I probably have this kind of streak with most things that I do. Whenever I decide to do something and I'm going all in, I kind of go all in with it and take as much out of it as I can. And it just kept interesting me. Like, it doesn't matter how many programs or how many bench presses or how many squats that I did, there was always something more to learn about it. And whenever you guys were coaching me, I was eager to take it all in. And when I was learning about food, I was eager to take it all in. And I was actually, trying to pass it on already. So to my brother or to my dad or whatever, and it just kind of, it felt like an instant kind of marriage almost, and like me and fitness kind of really gelled. Yeah. And I felt that I had something to offer. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go for it. I'm gonna do my certification and take this forward.
I suppose in a way, like, you could kind of say, no matter what you're doing, Steve'o, you're trying to make people feel good. You're either trying to make people laugh, you're either trying to entertain them with your music, or physically you're trying to actually make them feel good no matter what. So I suppose no matter what industry you're working in, that's generally what you gravitate towards.
Yeah, absolutely. And even when I'm in the gym, I'm trying to make people laugh. And I'm probably singing and dancing as well. Yeah,
which is cool. Like, you would never, I suppose those two things aren't universally connected, but we kind of know just purely from being in the industry and seeing how you operate with it that they actually are, and they work really well.
Yeah, but that's just the kind of person I am. Like if I was working in a 9 to 5 in an office, I'd probably be singing and dancing as well. Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, which is cool. So here, tell me this. Well, tell a listener this. Like, what were the initial challenges for you when you first started working in the fitness industry?
Probably confidence, I would say. Although I was an actor and a performer and stuff, it's a completely different thing. You get nerves before you go on stage, which is completely normal. But to have a direct impact on someone, especially when it comes to their health and their performance in the gym, and giving people advice that are going to leave in a couple of minutes time and try and implement this into the rest of their week. There was a bit of a confidence issue there with me, and maybe just even coming out of my shell, to be, you know, the myself, you know, singing and dancing and all, instead of just being this kind of stern-faced personal trainer. This is what you have to do. But so confidence, it's come along over the years and stuff, but I would say that was probably the biggest obstacle that I had to overcome, because I knew what I was talking about. But relaying that, then it's like worrying about the ripple effect that you're having. Do you know what I mean? Almost the imposter syndrome that you've talked about before. Even though you know your stuff, and you know that you know your stuff, passing that on, then you're like, oh, should I say that, or should I give this advice, or should, you know what, just go for it, because you're in the position of authority there, and you know, you just gotta help the person.
No matter what, it's gonna be helpful. No matter what, it's kind of it's funny you say that, actually, because a couple of weeks ago, there's a girl, she goes to the gym, and she said to me, do you know, I said to her one time, so she showed me, she took a photo of her plate and sent it to me, and I couldn't even remember saying this, actually, but I said, add more colour. And it wasn't just the one plate, it was like the everything. And she says every single time she's going for a meal now, she just says to herself, add more colour. And I'm like, holy shit, like, I gotta fucking make sure that I'm on point and I'm saying the right thing to people, because literally they take that shit literally.
It's people latch on to the smallest things, like, and that's probably one of the things that you kind of need to watch out for as well. But you have an impact on people, and you just need to go for it.
Class, mate. So Steve'o, you've been in the industry for a long time now. Is there anything that you would change about fitness? I suppose not even from from how people receive it. Is there anything you would change about that? Is there anything that you would change overall? Where do you see the biggest problems that lie within the industry?
I've a couple of things that are kind of closely connected. I think that the initial problem starts in school.
Okay.
Coming from my background and stuff, like, I never learnt in school home economics and stuff, you know, like cooking and all these kinds of things. Neither was my brother or sister. I think my sister actually might have done it.
Okay.
But it seemed that, you know, girls' schools would have done that and boys' schools wouldn't have done that. And it was only after that I left they started bringing that in.
Okay.
So I think going way, way back, it would be starting to learn about food and starting to learn about exercise and general day-to-day health from a younger age across the board, because we did PE, but it was playing football. Do you know what I mean? Like, you would have went to PE 3 times a week or something, whatever, for an hour. If you don't like
football, you're screwed.
If you don't like football, and realistically, you only kind of progressed on the sports science if you had an interest in Gaelic or football or hurling or whatever it was. So if you didn't like playing football, or you didn't like long distance running, then you were never really going to stick that out. So I think having some sort of structure in school of educating kids about food and exercise and stuff would be a real great start.
Okay.
And then leading on to that problem has carried over into adulthood, because the main problem, it's a double-edged sword, because on one hand, it's causing people more problems, these fad diets and, you know, shakes and skinny teas and all that bullshit that you see, especially in January. Like, I walked into a shop, and before Christmas, it was stocked with selection boxes and tubs of sweets and all these different things. And literally, as soon as January hit, protein bars, lemon teas, it was mental. I couldn't get my head around it. So
I seen this thing, freeze your fat.
Freeze your fat? How do you do that?
Fuck, I don't know. It's like a billboard, freeze your fat. Just like, holy shit. Like, I don't know.
I can't believe it, because I know too many people who buy into it.
Yeah.
And I know what it feels like to Google those kinds of things. You know, to go, how do I lose a stone in a week? Or, you know, and it's basically businesses who are designed to feed off the desperation of desperate people. You know,
Yeah.
someone who isn't educated and doesn't know any better, basically taking their money for something that isn't going to change anything
Yeah.
and isn't going to change especially the cause. So it's the education and the food knowledge and the exercise knowledge. That's why I had to go back to the school point there, because it carries across into adulthood and it causes far too many problems. But on the other hand, like I said, whenever people realize that these things don't work, they come to us.
Yeah.
And then we're able to educate and we're able to, you know, give them the knowledge and the tools moving forward. But I think that step should just be gotten rid of completely.
I think they are getting better in schools. I know from my sons being at a very young age, they're getting more and more, like, my kids know what proteins, fats and carbs are.
Really?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think people within the industry were talking about this 10 years ago, and in reality, and this happens in university as well, when people start to talk about things, it will probably be implemented 10 years down the line.
Yeah.
But by the time that the effects of these debates start to happen, so I think it is starting to happen now. It's pity it didn't happen sooner.
Yeah. Well, that's a good thing, like, because in fairness, when I go to Oliver's school and stuff, they were talking about their snacks and what they're having for lunch and stuff. And the teacher said, you know, if the kid comes to school with a chocolate bar, we're not going to deny the kid the chocolate bar if that's all they're given, but we would encourage you to give them apples, oranges, these kinds of things. And I was like, that's really good, because it's so much easier to just buy a big 12 pack of crisps that are going to sit in the cupboard and then you just chuck one in the bag, you know what I mean? So
you think it should start earlier, the learning process, and then it should be better regulated?
Yeah, I think so.
Because like there's people, even if you look at, let's say, a packet of Sensations, like there's stuff that they can write on it that's even in terms of meat and stuff, you can write like farm fresh or freshly blah blah blah, when you know that it's not fresh. There's like preservatives on it to keep it that way, and there's stuff on Doritos, like there's someone that's paid to make you addicted to Doritos. And this dude is like one of the smartest dudes in America. So he's paid to make people, and it's that type of stuff that just isn't regulated, and it's so hard for people to deal with, and it's not the consumer's fault. They're just, most people will believe, oh, it says there's no this is fresh, oh well, it must be fresh.
And like those cereal bars that say protein on them because they've got a bit more gluten or something in them, you know what I mean? It's again feeding on people who aren't educated. And I think even the nutritional information that's on, it's so confusing, and they kind of manipulate it. So like it's a legal requirement for it to be there, but they kind of make it so obscure or so awkward for someone to find out what's actually in a portion. Or, you know, like a portion set, like you get a bag of crisps and it says this has 4 servings of 17 grams. You're like, am I gonna have 17 grams? And anyone buying that packet of crisps or packet of sweets is gonna have the packet. You know what I mean? But they're kind of covering their own backs without worrying about what it's gonna have an effect on people.
Even they brought out like a traffic light system, which can kind of be confusing for people as well, because you've got like olive oil that's red light because it's so high in fat, and then it's like, right, okay, in terms of calories, but in terms of the actual health benefits, it's not a red light.
Like those traffic light system things that they have on food as well, I mean, for me, it highlights the unimportant things, or some of them, like salt and stuff. All right, you want to watch your salt intake and stuff, but there's a bigger picture here. It tells you the calories on it, but like no one's looking for the salt, and no one's looking for all these different things that are on it. You want to know how much fat, carbs, protein, calories is in it, and how you calculate how much of that packet you should be having. And even having the packet sectioned off, that's 1 serving, that's 2 servings, instead of just throwing it all in to one thing.
Get you, man. Get you.
So overall education from childhood leading through into adulthood.
What about within gyms?
Within gyms, stay off Instagram. Don't get your your workout off Instagram. Because I mean, you've probably seen the Gym Feels page. And it's just full of balloons trying to do different things with equipment that it was never designed to be used that way.
Yeah.
But on the other hand as well, everyone's out to make a quick buck, so they're going to sell you a resistance band, or they're going to sell you a skateboard with only 3 wheels to teach you how to brace your core and
while you do overhead squats.
learn how to balance better because it's got one less wheel or something. You know what I mean? I think people, again, well, coaches need to kind of address that, you know, risk reward kind of thing, or, you know, biggest bang for your buck movements and stuff. Don't be putting up videos or pictures or whatever of some girl with a cracking arse doing a cable kickback whenever someone needs a squat or someone needs a deadlift. You know, that's going to be a better thing for them. I think there's
not enough of that. There's not enough awareness probably around, listen, this isn't for you. It's just not. Just, like, learn the basics.
And you know, they'll put that up, but it's 9 times out of 10 the person's probably doing that at the very end of their session. They don't see the squats and the deadlifts that they are actually doing, and they're like, oh yeah, if you want to look like this, buy this band and do a kickback. They're like, nah, you're not seeing the full picture here. So that's one thing that I really don't like about gyms, and, you know,
the culture.
There's almost like an overload of vanity or something that goes around it. And if it's going to be a long-term thing, which it is for me now, like originally when I started, it was a vanity thing. I wanted to lose weight and I wanted to look good and stuff. But the longer I'm in the game, I'm like, no, I want to be healthy. You know, I want to move well, and I'm going to eat a few things that may not necessarily be on a meal plan, but I'm educated to know the consequences or the pros or cons or whatever about it. So I think people just need to kind of stay away from Instagram booties and big biceps and abs and stuff, and just start thinking about, what do I actually need? Do I need that, or do I need to be healthy? Do I need to move well? Do I need to, you know, stick around to see my kids growing up and all those different types of things?
I think there needs to be a fitness police.
That'd be good. That'd be good.
I always say, you know, the PT police aren't going to come in and get you, but I think there should be, like, fitness police.
Maybe we should start something up.
And just, like, they scar Instagram for bullshit, and you just write bullshit. or just
show up at the person's gym and go, you're talking balls.
Oh God, do you know what? Like, God love him. God love him.
I know it's bad because, like I said before about the food and stuff, it's a double-edged sword, because, you know, eventually people are going to catch on that a cable kickback isn't going to get them the results that they want.
No.
And a squat and a deadlift is, but, you know, they kind of have to, I suppose,
experience that for themselves.
And then they'll go on to something else, and then 9 times out of 10 that's why they come to us, because we're not about that. So.
So here, mate, like you asked me this question on our last podcast, and I'm going to relay it back to you. What is your definition of success?
Success would be, I don't know if I would say, success for me would be always chasing challenge.
Okay.
You know, like, it's only been the last couple of years that I've started reading books, and, you know, I would have listened to audio books and stuff, but actually, you know, gaining the knowledge and taking the time to sit down and read through a book, because I'm a slow reader and stuff, that would have been difficult for me. But the more that I've done it over the last few years, I feel more successful for doing it.
Okay.
I don't have, like, a thing to show for it. I don't have, you know, I have knowledge and stuff, and I have, like you said in the last episode, I have knowledge to pass on, and that'll live on and, you know, be passed on to other people. But I think that the meaning behind doing anything and being successful is to constantly strive for better and strive for more challenge and, you know, developing yourself. Again, like, you know, if you're talking about trying to pick a word for the year, like, consistent. I want to be consistently growing, or I want to be a consistently better father, or I want to be a consistently better partner. All of that comes with their own challenges. So I think success is a feeling, rather than a thing.
Oh, okay.
Do you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
like if I learned something new, I think that was a success.
Or if you've achieved something, you just feel.
Yeah, you get that feeling of accomplishment.
Mm.
Do you know what I mean? It doesn't have to be something that you can hold in your hands or a number that you see in a bank account or anything like that. I think success is more of a feeling that you get from bettering yourself or bettering other people.
Love it, man. Love it.
Cool.
If I hadn't asked you something that I should have today, what would it have been?
Oh, you put me on the spot now. I'm not too sure.
We'll cover this here in the next episode, will it?
Yeah, maybe. I'm used to asking people questions and not used to asking myself questions.
Okay. Well, you know what? I'm glad. I'm glad I got a wee insight there, and I'm glad the listener got a wee insight because I'm sure there's a lot of value in what you just shared. Also, yeah. Thanks very much, mate.
No problem. If anyone has any questions for us,
Yeah.
or if they want to get in touch, want us to cover a topic or a subject, if you want to send us an email to fitnessbusinesslife@gmail.com. And if you want to hit us up on social media, my Instagram account is @CoachSteve'oHybrid.
Mine's is M_J_Lennon.
See you later, guys.
Peace out.